Assalamu alaikum and good greetings. Today I will be watching a video that is not directly related to similar topics that I tend to watch and react to on this channel. Right, so the title of this video is What We Can and Can't Control During a Crisis. So this is by Pat Flynn, and without further ado,
so when I woke up today, it really felt weird. It felt very similar to what was happening in 2008.
2008. Wow, that brings back memories where that is when the economic crisis hit us, and at that moment I was in my foundation study doing my A-level, hoping to see the country of my birth, the UK, and then because I was doing my A-level under a certain scholarship, and then economic crisis hit, and then they changed the scholarship to become a loan, and then they also changed from going overseas to the UK to become going local to a local university, right? So that was my luck back then, and this 2008, big 2008 here, does bring back that memories. Okay, this is kind of embarrassing right here, but I'm editing the video and I just realized that I have made a significant error there, where I was off by a decade. I was off by 10 years. What I just said and what I will be saying certain things in this video is not something happened in 2008, rather it happened in 1998 during the economic crisis in the Southeast Asia region during 97 and 98, right? So yeah, I think I have to make that correction and moving on. But anyway,
Around the recession. And I wanted to shoot this video for you to share a little bit about my experience in 2008 to hopefully help you and equip you with things that you might need as the days move forward here amongst the sort of things that are happening in the world right now. And if you happen to be an online business owner or a content creator, I wanted to share a little bit about how this may affect you, both on the positive and the negative side. In 2008, the stock markets plummeted. The stores were depleted of toilet paper and other necessities. And there was that sort of funk in the air that you probably feel right now that is just full of fear, and just everybody's scared and worried about what's going to happen next. And back then it was the recession caused by a number of factors related to the US economy that, we don't need to get into right now. But there was that sort of underlying tone of just, well, how long is this going to go for, and when are we going to come out the other end? And today, here in 2020, it feels very, very similar, eerily similar in the way that everybody's sort of behaving and fearing, except this time is obviously a result of a disease that is sort of being spread around the world, a pandemic now. And I remember, like today, there are two camps of people. There are the people who are fearful, who are panicked, who are super worried, who are preparing for the worst. And then on the other hand, there are people who think those people are crazy, who are saying, well, this isn't anything to worry about, this will, die off in the summer or what have you, and there's no worry whatsoever. I'm not filming this video to take one side or the other, but in all honesty, my family and I, we are fearful, we are taking precautions. However, I'm also wanting to make sure I understand all the facts, so I don't get persuaded by crazy headlines or random tweets that might be going viral versus knowledge from people who do know about what's going on right now. It's your choice to determine where you want to lie on that spectrum, and I'm not going to tell you what to do, but whatever you do, please be wise, please be safe, and I just hope everything's cool on your end. I am filming this video, however, because in 2008, I thought I was not vulnerable to the situation. Although lots of people were having to stay at home to work or getting their hours cut or even getting laid off, I always thought, well, I was immune to the situation. And I just kept telling myself, well, that would never happen to me. That would never happen to me. But on June 17th, 2008, it did happen to me. And I was let go from the only job I knew that I ever wanted, that I ever dreamed for. And I had no plan B, and I was crushed. Absolutely crushed. The timing was not great at all. I mean, it's never great in these situations, but I was about to get married, and I know that getting laid off and having a situation like that is not comparable to being sick with an illness that could cause death for some people. But in this situation, it's one of those things where even if you're not infected, for example, you will still be affected by what is going on. There's going to be likely things that have to change in terms of your plans. Maybe it's having to stay home or not having work anymore. Maybe having to watch the kids at home because schools are on lockdown. Maybe it's travel plans that were canceled or vacations that were canceled. And even if you wash your hands all the time, you stay out of danger, you stay in places that are safe, you can still be affected by the situation, even if you do everything right. And when there's a major life change like that, and I know from experience, it can completely derail you, especially when it's not your fault and there's nothing that you can do. When I got laid off in 2008, I was in a bad mood for like 3 weeks straight. Every day blaming somebody different, blaming my boss, blaming the economy, blaming my country, blaming myself. It was not healthy at all. And more than that, it was not getting me anywhere either. The issue was that I was focused on things that I could not control. You can't control what you can't control. I couldn't go back and get my job back. I couldn't change the way the economy was working at the time, yet those were the only things I was really focused on during those 3 weeks. And right now there are things that are happening that you can't control. But at the same time, there are things that are happening that you can control. And it's those things that we can control that we should be focusing on. When I learned this back in 2008, when I finally realized that I couldn't change the past, but I could change what I did now so I could change the future for me in the situation I was in, everything changed. What was once considered a dire, depressing moment became a huge opportunity. I, having gotten laid off, had more time in front of me than I had ever had in my whole life before. And I started to think about what I could create or what I could start that maybe I always wanted to, I just didn't have the time to do it before. So what I did was I started an online business helping architects who still had a job pass a particular exam. And now, 12 years later, since starting that business and multiple businesses later, I can honestly say that a lot of what's happened to me lately with success in my business and in my life was a result specifically of that mindset change, that change in perspective during that really tough moment in my life and in really the world. And now, of course, with a home-based business, online, being able to help and serve other people around the world through a computer, it's obviously the best situation that I could be in right now. And so if you also happen to have an online business or are thinking of starting one, or you're an online content creator, perhaps now with the time that we do have, this is the time to lean into that a little bit more, to do the things, to take the bold actions that perhaps you were putting aside. Or maybe now there's a reason to do those things where you thought you had a safety net before. And that's the one thing that I realized was when I had my safety net of a job, I wasn't going to do the things to become an entrepreneur. Here's another situation that may be happening perhaps to you. If you have kids, maybe the school sent the kids home, they don't want to have the kids come to school for a while, everything's on lockdown. So now you have to watch the kids at home, and yes, I know how much of a strain that can be, especially when you have much younger kids. We can't control what the schools are doing. However, we can control what we do now with the kids at home with us. Maybe this is the time to establish some really solid sort of game nights and traditions in your family. Maybe this is the time to start sort of an hour-long reading habit in the afternoon. And trust me, if you're gonna actually enforce that, you better be reading too, or else it's just not going to work. And that extra time with the kids, whatever you do with that, that can only help you bond with them more, which then in turn in the future could potentially mean a better relationship, a stronger relationship, once we're on the other side of all this stuff. I want to give a big shout out to Sean Cannell and Benji Travis over at Video Influencers. They shot a video yesterday. It was actually an hour-long live stream about this whole pandemic and what that means for content creators, for business owners. And I love how they reframe the opportunities that we have in front of us. Because if you are a content creator, a YouTuber, podcaster, blogger, social media, business owner, online course creator, coach of any kind, you actually have some big opportunities in front of you. Because think about it, people are potentially going to be staying home more. They're not going to have work to do like they did before. They're going to have a lot of time on their hands to do things that they weren't able to do before. So perhaps this is the time they can start learning from you, or being a part of the community that you're going to build, or taking an online course that you have, or consuming your YouTube content more, consuming your podcasts more. And if you don't have something up and running now that people can consume, well, maybe now's the time to get it in place. What I really fear, however, are the content creators who are trying to take advantage of the situation and the fear that are in people right now. And that's not what I'm telling you to do, and you shouldn't do that. There are people out there selling hand sanitizer for $1,000 on eBay right now, and that's just sickening. But there has been no other time in our history that it's been easier to begin to generate an income online, to begin to start an online business, and to do it in a way where you're actually serving others, helping people, and connecting with them. You have an opportunity. Maybe now's the time to lean into that a little bit more than you did before. You know, a lot of people are gonna watch some Disney Plus, waiting for that Mandalorian season 2, by the way. This is the way. Etsy. See, that's what I'm talking about. Somebody crafted this out of fiber, glass, or whatever, and it's awesome, and a fan like me loves it, right? What could you create that you could potentially sell? Maybe it's an online course, digital, maybe it's a physical product. I don't know. It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. All I'm saying is, yes, it's a terrible situation. I pray that you and your loved ones and everybody you know is safe and fine right now. We're gonna get through this, and I'm gonna be creating more content here on YouTube because I want to connect with you more. I think building a community in this time is going to be more important than ever, because we're going to need each other, truly. Not just you and me, but the people who need you are going to need you to step up and lead them and make them feel better and make them feel safe and make them feel like they belong to something. Because there's going to be a lot of stuff happening in this world. I don't see this dying down anytime soon. So let's make the best of it. Cool? Will you do that? If you leave a comment below, let me know that you're going to do your best. I know it's going to be hard for many of you, but let's do our best to see the positive in this, and we'll try to see how we might be able to come out better, even better, on the other end than when we entered it. So I just want to wish you all the best. Thank you so much for being here, Team Flynn. You are amazing. Make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't already. Hit me up with a like if you enjoyed this video. And again, let me know in the comment section below that you are going to try your best to look at the positive in this and hopefully lean into your content creation a little bit more to serve others out there in this world who desperately need you at this time. Peace. Take care.
Okay, so that's basically the video. Yeah, so looking into the positive in the circumstances, I think, and shifting from what you cannot control, focusing on that, to focus on what you can control. That's the mindset shift that I think, I forgot where did I get that from, but because one of our dean here is also keep focusing on that. You keep on mumbling about the problems here and there, but those things that we cannot control, do not spend too much time on that. Focus on what we can control, and let's discuss and do it and change what we can. So that actually get things moving rather than we keep on complaining that something beyond our control, right? So that's number one. Looking back and from his story, that tragedy beginning in 2008 is becoming the starting point of what he is right now. The same can be said about me as well, in a certain context, but not in terms of the success level on monetary level or career wise so much, but more on the values that I have, the passion that I have towards certain things. Yeah, I can definitely, because I cannot say whether it will be better or not if the reality have been different, where I have went to UK, etc. Right? I don't know. We never know. But the trajectory after that, when I went to the local university, etc., 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 is when I get the opportunity to realize, oh, this is actually what I want in my life, etc. I'm not talking about my study itself, but what I gained from where I was at during that point of my life, right? So I will not go into detail in this video. I'm not sure whether anyone would be interested in that anyway, but yeah, looking back, that is actually a significant point of during my life that triggers chain of events that leads to myself right now, and what I'm focusing on a lot in terms of giving my time to the students, focusing on this certain aspect, etc, etc, etc. But anyway, so take the positive from the video that we have watched, and hopefully, yes, inshallah, as we have gone through many multiple different types of crises, challenges before, be it during our lifetime or the entire human race life, right? So we will go out of this scenario, definitely, but for personal perspective, for personal gain, we do need to have this mindset shift, inshallah. Wallahu alam. I think we'll end on that note. Thank you for watching. See you next time.